Welcome to episode 6 of the Wrong Kind of Music podcast. It's me, back as usual. I've also got Liam with us, who you all know. And today, for the first time, I've got a new guest, Jennifer. Just like myself, goes to gigs, regular punter. Was down at Metal to the Masses, quite a few of the heats, yeah.
All of them so
all
far.
All of them so far, yeah. So, well versed in the whole Metal to the Masses. We are going to start off, get stuck right into it, by reviewing yesterday's Metal to the Masses Heat 4, which had Rule of 6, Rusty Taste of Sweetness, Sky Pilot, and Periapt. Not Periapt, as I keep calling them, but Periapt.
So we were corrected by one of their mothers yesterday.
We were indeed, yeah. So first up in the day was Rule of 6. Liam, what did you reckon to Rule of 6?
Oh, wasn't impressed, I have to say. They come out, like, they've got the 4 guitarists, which I think we mentioned last time, and you're struggling to see really what the point of having that many guys playing guitar on stage is. They're not really doing an awful lot.
They're not playing different things.
Yeah.
If there was 4 different guitars, if they were all playing something different,
it'd be something interesting, but they're really not. I think the thing that really stuck out at the start was the intro. They have this intro tape which has, I'm assuming it's all Star Wars quotes.
If it is, they're going deep into the lore.
Yeah, because they're going out, maybe they're going through some of the cartoons like Clone Wars and stuff like that there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it came across as really kind of cheesy.
What
a few segues between other songs as well that just, I don't know, it just didn't work.
During the intro, I've seen other bands, and like, I'll use the Crawling as examples for lots of things, because they really are the de facto professional band within this circle of bands. Whenever the Crawling, another good example is Shrouded. Whenever they had like a sort of an atmospheric intro, the lights would be down, the hoods would be down, or the backs would be turned,
or they wouldn't be on stage until right at the last second.
And then there's a big build, and then it all kicks off. With Rule of 6's intro, there was just 6 guys kind of awkwardly standing on stage.
Like, what do we do now?
Although it is a good thing they were in Limelight instead of Voodoo, because I'm not sure they would all fit on the stage in Voodoo, to be fair.
Maybe that's why it was moved to Limelight.
No, there was something on in Voodoo.
Right.
There was Stranglewire were on, but I don't think they would have all fit on the stage in Voodoo, because it's like this big.
The things you are saying about all the guitars, to me, they just got lost.
Yeah.
There was points where I'm trying to pick out you hear like a little melody going, you're like, who's playing? No, I don't know what's going on. I tried to focus on things that I did enjoy within Rule of 6's set. Of the 4 guitar players, there was one who is left-handed.
Yeah.
And I thought by far he stood out. I was able to pick out what he was playing a lot more than the rest of them, and I kind of enjoyed it, kind of homed in on that. I also thought the bass player I really liked, because the way the sound was, you could pick out the bass. The only thing is, there was something really odd about the bass.
Yeah, and I think it was whatever way he had himself set up on stage, you got this massive big whoom.
Yeah.
And I was sat down at one point and I felt my bowels shake, and not in a good way. It was like there was just this like almost like a feedback thing, and it just went right through you, and you're like.
The thing I didn't understand about it was, you would have expected it to be whenever he went for those like lower notes, those real deep bass notes. It wasn't. It was whenever he was coming up the fretboard a bit more. That's when those sort of was coming through. I didn't understand what was going on there. What it reminded me of was, I don't know if you listen to like some metalcore bands, a good example of this is Feed the Rhino.
Yeah.
The drummer beside him has this little sampler, and sometimes just as it's about to kick into a chorus, he'll hit the sampler and it'll be like this, almost like a dubstep bass drop.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Right? That's what it sounded like, except clearly it wasn't
when you do that right, and it works, it's great.
Yeah.
But like I said, this was just coming through at random, and it was just really, really kind of just swamped everything.
Yeah. Another thing that was just way off for me was the snare sound, the real tonky snare, and I can't have that.
Yeah, I noticed too much of that.
Once I notice it, that is all I notice. It's that tonk, and I just. I actually said to someone beside me that I'm going to go and take that snare and throw it out the window. I think overall, disappointed, unimpressed with Rule of 6.
Their microphone stand was cool though.
The lightsaber thing.
The colour changing lightsaber stand was pretty cool.
Yeah, but when the best thing about your set is your mic stand, I think, that's
corn?
not a good sign. Very corn. Yeah, it's usually the only good thing about their sets too.
Harsh.
But fair.
Harsh.
Yeah.
There was another wee thing that kind of threw me was the last song they played was Shadow Chaser, and there was this like key change in it, and I don't know. I've always had this thing about key changes in metal.
It can be, it's a bit
to me, a key changes, it's a real pop thing,
you
know. So overall, no, I didn't overly enjoy it. No. I was on the fence a wee bit beforehand. I was hoping to do the Star Wars thing. I think even if they did, it wouldn't have been enough.
If you're gonna do that kind of maiden sound, your singer needs to be, he needs to be up there, and the vocals just. They didn't match. They were really, really flat. If you can't hit, the Bruce Dickinson kind of range, then I think you need to be sort of a bit more on the kind of growly side of it.
Yeah.
And he wasn't anywhere near either of those.
Yeah. Shame on that one, but oh well. Moving on, the second band then was Rusty Taste of Sweetness. We talked about Rusty Taste of Sweetness on the last podcast. I don't think any of us were expecting anything from this.
No.
And all I can say is what a vast improvement over the last time I seen them. They brought... there was way more heft to their music.
Added their old bass player has now shifted over to guitar.
Old bass player's now on guitar.
And they've got another guitar player now as well.
Yeah. More aggressive. Lead vocalist was 100 times more confident.
Yeah, you
looked like she was enjoying herself. There was one of the songs they played which I thought actually sounded a bit thrashy, which was sort of Black Album Metallica. Yeah,
there was definitely, I think it was like second or third last, and there was definitely a riff in there. You're like, whoa, hold on a second. Like they've definitely come on and they say Anna's voice is just, we said last time, it is a good voice. She does have a good voice, but it just the one problem I think when she tries to go outside of her range, it sort of falters a wee bit. You just rein it in a wee bit, especially on the slower stuff. I thought, I was like, wow, yeah, that's really, really, that's a really good voice.
I know when we have checked their YouTube channel, I think they've went through a few vocalists, and I'm wondering if maybe songs have been written with other vocalists in mind. I think maybe now that they've settled down with the lineup, if they start writing songs for Anna.
Yeah, well, like I said, you even said yesterday that some of the sort of maybe newer stuff seems a lot more competent, and you can definitely see improvement. I still think they need a drummer, like a musical drummer, a guy that can actually play, that can help arrange the songs, help drive the band, because with a new bass player, I don't think he's maybe played live before. He was a bit rabbit in the headlights, I thought. But if you have a class drummer, somebody that can, with a bit of musicality about them, he helps drive the song, helps the arrangements, brings the bass player in, the bass player then grows. And that with that kind of music, your rhythm section, once it's locked in, your guitarists have room to play.
Yeah, I didn't expect to enjoy them.
I found the foot in the head going.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. I thought they were pretty good. Now that being said, you don't win competitions for improvement. You win competitions for being the best. But still, way better than I expected. Yeah, agree with that? Or, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay. The next band I want to talk about is the band that actually finished the night, and that was Periapt. What do you reckon of Periapt?
I actually liked them better this time than the last time I saw them.
Right.
So I just enjoyed the set better, but I'd already seen them, so that might be why. I don't know, but
that's in like Fat Joe supporting Hemlock.
I'm not sure.
A while back. I thought they were pretty good that time, but I was kind of there for Hemlock, so I hadn't paid a whole lot of attention. After listening to the stuff, I thought the stuff was good, but as I said last time, I thought it's a wee bit. It feels to me like music that's getting pulled in a lot of directions. Like some of it sounds proggy, some of it sounds grungy, some of it sounds rocky, and I think they need to pull those influences together and focus the music more.
Yeah, no, it's because I already was familiar with some of their music, so that might be why I liked it better. But they wouldn't be like my first choice to listen to.
Yeah.
just because it's not really my thing. But
I think I'd be the same. Like I wouldn't necessarily go out of the way to listen to Perry Apt.
But I didn't think it was terrible.
But if it was going to a gig and they popped up in the bill, I'd be like, oh, there's Perry Apt.
They were definitely very slick. You know, you could tell this is supposed to be the difference between them and Rusty Taste. This is a band that have. They're locked in. They clearly practice a lot. They play a lot. They were just as a live band, they were really good. But I thought it was a bit soulless at times. They as a band together, yes, really good, but they didn't really give you an awful lot on stage. Whereas at least with Rusty Taste, you could see they were enjoying themselves. The guitarist was mugging away and pulling shapes, singers dancing away and stuff. With these guys, it was. They just kind of stood there.
A bit static.
Yeah, and there wasn't really an awful lot of in between songs sort of banter.
Perry Apt's singer is also their guitarist though, so he can. There's a limit with how much he can move around.
The thing is,
whereas Rusty Taste of Sweetness singer is just a singer, so she can run about as much as she wants.
Look at Donald Dye. Thomas is a guitarist and singer. That guy, you couldn't. If you nailed him to the floor, he still wouldn't stay in one space.
The floor would be up. I thought one of the things I definitely thought while watching Perry Apt was every musician on that stage is very, very talented.
Oh yeah.
There's no denying they can all play really, really well. I just think they need to take the writing and focus it more. I think I said that already. I mentioned last week on the podcast that their EP was something that seemed to end up in what I would call development hell.
Yeah.
And by the time they're getting the EP ready and out, as a band, they've kind of moved on a bit. And I was speaking to Nate, and Nate was saying that last night as well. So I think they're a band to watch.
Yeah, there's definitely something there. I think they need to maybe kind of find their own identity, because there's definite points like you said, you can hear. There's one riff that was just, to me, it was just even flow.
You come over and you said that, and I wasn't happy about it because I put even flow in my hand.
It was only really the start, but for me it was, they seem to, like you said, they're being pulled in so many different directions. They haven't really settled on an identity. I think once they do, if they figure that out with the talent that they have, they could definitely be ones to watch. The singer I thought was a bit flat on the day. Like, this is my first time seeing them, so I don't know if it was just a bad day, but
I don't think he was perfect, but I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I think for what they're doing though, you want a massive voice.
No, I think they were better than they were the last time I saw them. That's
all you really want from a band to see them.
I do think they were better. So.
And then the last band to talk about from Heat 4 is Sky Pilot, and I'm going to give you the pleasure because. How do you feel about this band?
We've seen them how many times now? Countless number of times.
20, 30 times.
Yeah, and this is easily the best I've seen them. They were just immense. They've been together about 15 years or so.
Easily.
Yeah, and every day of that came out last night. They were leagues ahead of everybody. Mm-hmm. They were just so tight, locked in. That's a rhythm section. Every other band on the bill should have been watching that and just seeing how they just lock in, and they allow David. He's not the most fancy guitarist, but he runs these wee leads and stuff, and he's got the room to do that. And it just epic is the only way I can really describe.
What do you make of Sky Pilot?
I've never seen them before, so I've nothing to compare it to, but that was my favourite show of the night.
Yeah.
It was easily my favourite one.
I thought they made what they do look absolutely effortless.
Yeah.
Initially watching it, you kind of go, they make it look like anyone could go up and do that.
Yeah.
Clearly you can't. It takes a lot of fucking talent. But, so good. Did they open with John 4? Am I right in saying that?
I think so, I can't remember.
I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't John 4 as the opening track, but I had shivers up my spine.
Yeah.
It just sounded amazing. The sounds that comes from David's guitar when he plays, to me, are just so good. That, as you say, we've seen them, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 times, God knows.
Yeah.
They've been they have been about the local scene as long as I have. That's the best I've seen them, as far as I'm concerned, because they've got the new material, which I think's brilliant, and then the older stuff they were playing was like the hits.
Yeah.
But I think they made that joke themselves.
Stomper.
Yeah. They finished with that. That was, I just thought they were so good. And as you say, head and shoulders above all the other bands. I mean, we were saying about Rusty Taste are vastly improved. Perhaps they're a good up-and-coming band with, you know, the talent's clearly there. These guys are just outstandingly good.
Yeah.
There's no other way about it.
The thing is, even between the songs as well, like, one thing that always does bug me a wee bit, they're always tuning up after each song. But Dave has this, you know, he just has this wit about him, and he's chatting away to the crowd, and it's hilarious.
He's a very natural humour.
And it's just so funny. And like at one point, because Skid Row were playing in Limelight 1, and he was going, we're Skid Row, and they started playing, I think, was it Monkey Business?
One of the other things he said, I think it was one of the new songs, he says, this is one of the new songs and we think it's going to sound great at Bloodstock.
Hint, he said.
I said to someone about it, and I think they kind of reeled away as if, you know, well, that's a bit cocky, and it's like, that's not the tone that was delivered with.
No, definitely not. Like, it's they even said a couple of times, it was, you know, give us your 4, and, you know, they're just having a laugh, and that comes across.
No, I picked it up as being a joke as well. Like, so.
Speaking of jokes,
yes,
Lauren made a crack about them being Belfast answer to Anvil, and it wasn't until Wayne pointed out, I noticed they were all wearing the same t-shirt with an anvil on it, and that was their little dig at us, and cheers guys, we totally appreciate that.
Yeah. And I know that, I mean, we're here and we critique bands and we may say things that bands don't necessarily agree with. For a band, I mean, it was meant in humorous.
Oh, well, they came up to us and said,
to take it as a joke and have a bit of banter and a bit of crack with it and not take anything we say to heart. I will salute any band that does that, because we're not here to piss any bands off.
No.
We're not here to run anyone down. But we gotta be honest about bands, and we're unimpressed by bands. We gotta say that. So absolutely tops off.
Taps off. Yeah.
I think I've got an expression mixed up there,
but yeah, they're just one of those bands. They've just got so. I think somebody once described them. Somebody had said to Dave actually. Said they sound very much like Curb Dub covering Black Sabbath.
Okay.
That to me is with a wee bit of Tool, which I also heard them sort of messing about with in Soundcheck as well.
Right.
That's kind of as close as you could really get to.
Okay, so that's our 4 bands. On the night, the first winner that was announced was Sky Pilot, which
don't think anybody can argue with.
Wasn't surprising.
Yeah. And then the second band to go through that night was Rule of 6. Do you think it was the right 2 bands to go through?
I think Sky Pilot deserved it.
Yep.
Rule of 6, not so much.
No.
I thought Periapt should have gone through, or at least Rusty Taste of Sweetness. If Periapt didn't, but I think Periapt should have been the other one.
Yeah.
I would have thought that myself, based on their performance and how slick they were on stage. I personally have no qualms with saying I voted Sky Pilot first and Rusty Taste second, because, like I said, as much as Periapt had a maybe more slick kind of vibe about them, I don't know, just Rusty Taste impressed me more, but yeah, Rule of 6 shouldn't have gone through.
I think absolutely, without any shadow of a doubt, Sky Pilot were the right band to go through.
Easily.
And I can't wait to see them in the semi-final.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see who they go up against. As for a second band going through, I just don't think on the day Rule of 6 were, personally anyway, they just didn't impress me as much as Rusty Taste impressed me in the sense of how much of an improvement was.
Yeah.
Periapt impressed me with their musical ability. I think the songs need work, but I still think they should have been the band to go through. To me, it should have been Sky Pilot and Periapt. But we don't get the pick.
No, this is it. And
the next heat in Metal to the Masses is Heat 5. It's on Thursday the 8th of March, and it's back in Voodoo this time. The bands that are playing are Cloakroom Q, Winterness, Cursed Sun, and Victim Royal. We've also got 10 Ton Slug.
Special guests, yes.
They were the winners in 2016 of the Dublin event, or I should say the Ireland event. Competition aside, get down and see 10 Ton Slug. If you like your sludgy stoner metal, you will love these guys.
With a big hunk of melody and, you know,
fantastic.
Lots of slug references.
Yeah, I was listening to it earlier on, and I liked it, like, so.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Obviously, I've never seen them, but from what I heard, I was pretty impressed with it. So.
Apparently, I seen them at Bloodstock.
Yeah, apparently you did a lot of stuff with that Bloodstock. Yeah.
That was a fuzzy year. We'll go through these guys in alphabetical order. The first band are a band called TWKOM. I don't even know in terms of genre what you would.
I don't think I know in terms of genre what they are, because
I'm lost with this band. It seems to be ketamine infused alt rock. That is the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, like they've got a song. The first song you see on their SoundCloud is "It's Only Sex," I think it's called.
Yeah.
And it just seems like it is just a horrible Talking Heads kind of type thing, and it's awful. And to be honest, I listened to that one song and that was me done. But then you put on a couple others here.
We came back to, we made the point of listening to the full 3 tracks that are up there on SoundCloud.
And everything else is so different. There's a trippy sort of epic, like you said, alt rock sort of thing going on with. There's a tinge of heaviness about it at times. Mm-hmm. Not Bloodstock relevant, I wouldn't have thought.
No,
but
I don't think Bloodstock's the right festival for them. I don't think it's the right competition.
But that first song, I think, is a terrible first impression. You know, the second song, really good, has one of the worst names ever, Wankman 2000.
Yeah.
And you know, it's okay. Moorbear do the comedy song title thing quite well.
Yeah.
You know, because it's fine, but I don't know. The impression these guys give me is it doesn't sit right.
It comes across as Nathan Barley as fuck to me.
Yeah.
If anyone's familiar with Nathan Barley, it's like hipster metal or something, and I hate the whole hipster thing. I don't mean that in the sense that I hate hipsters. I hate everything being dubbed hipster.
Yeah, if you don't like it, that's hipster.
You know, he's wearing skinny jeans, so he's a hipster. No, he's not. He's just wearing skinny jeans. But it does give me that sort of hipster vibe of we're trying to be as different from anything as possible, which, I mean, that should be a good thing. But it just...
Well, only if, that's your natural, your right music, and it's like, it is different. If you're deliberately going, right, we want to be, as different and weird as possible, then you come across as pretentious.
Well, Linkin Park deliberately tried to make themselves not fit into a specific genre, but they did it well. So you can make your music different, but still have it be good.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said,
Linkin Park did really well by not having a specific genre.
The 2 songs after on their SoundCloud or whatever, I quite like. I started going, right, I could get into this.
Yeah.
I don't see it
the
as
second one.
Yeah, I don't see it as Bloodstock type material, but it could be. I could get into it, but it's just there's something about them kind of like nails on a chalkboard.
You said your first exposure to it was that track It's Only Sex on SoundCloud. My first exposure to them was, I have a habit of going straight to YouTube when I'm looking for new bands, and there's one live clip of them playing and it just looks like madness to me.
Yeah, there was also like I remember that. Yeah, there was like there was a horrible Chili Peppers vibe to it.
Guy with his top off, and he seems to have
something written on him,
painted on himself, and then someone's dressed up in like a boiler suit, and then there's something else going on, and there's projections of like mathematical equations or something. I can't even describe it because it's just so not what I know about.
Yeah.
There was certain other things that I'm trying to think about. Like, is it like populated itself, or is it like, Aphex Twin, or it's not like anything I know. I can't get a grasp on what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So I can't even think of a band that they remind me of.
Which is sometimes a good thing, but then it also, if you don't have like an anchor, something to go, right, this is what they kind of sound like to bring people in.
Yeah.
If there's a band and you can't find anything to compare them to, but you enjoy them, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But thus far, I haven't enjoyed much that I've heard from them. Maybe they'll approach this with a heavier attitude and a heavier approach.
If everything they play is like that second song on SoundCloud, it might be okay.
Then we could be in for seeing something.
It might be interesting. But if it's like the first song, then
it's gonna be a clusterfuck. Not the good kind.
If you've been following the podcast, you'll know what happened with Thunderwolf, and that we thought everything they had online was
rubbish.
And then they blew us away.
They're our favourite band ever.
Is there a chance that TWKOM could do a Thunderwolf?
Not to the same level, I don't think. You know, they may well do, like Jennifer's saying, if it's all like the second song, then we're good to go. Great. But if it's all like the first song, then they're, you know, if you put that band on stage at Bloodstock, the stage you get rushed and they'll be ripped limb from limb.
Yeah.
You know, there's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
So
interesting one, TWKOM.
Yeah.
If you know TWKOM, if you've listened to TWKOM and you have a different opinion to us, stick comments below. Give us some feedback. Tell us what you think, because we have been known to be wrong on a number of occasions. So next up, I don't think we'll talk about this band too much because we did cover them previously. Cursed Sun were meant to be in Heat
2.
It was 2. We're meant to be in Heat 2. We did talk about them prior to Heat 2 because it was after that they had their accident with Chris the drummer. Thankfully they're back in the competition. Yes. I'm really happy about that. They have a new bass player, Steve Martin, who anyone who listens to local bands will know Steve Martin. If you watch this podcast, you'll know him because he was on a couple of episodes ago.
We love you, Steve.
Steve's played with them twice. They supported Head PE, and then they done a gig in Alexander's in Lisburn, and I missed both of those due to not liking Steve, due to illness and weather and all sorts of nonsense.
I missed them when they played in Voodoo as well. They played in Voodoo. I think it was January. I think they were supporting Draconis. I think it was Draconis, and I actually missed that one because I saw the rest of it, but I missed Cursed Sun, and I really wanted to see them, so I'm actually really excited about this because I'll get to see them this time, hopefully.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
So I'll be very disappointed if I don't love it.
If you've got iTunes or Spotify, I would highly recommend getting the last 2 EPs.
Because I was looking up some of their music on YouTube, so I've got like an idea of what it should be like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But if I don't enjoy it, I'll be really upset.
I've spoken to them in terms of genre and stuff, and they really don't like even being associated with a genre.
No band ever does, but
they sometimes compare themselves to Machine Head and Lamb of God and stuff like that. I think it's Machine Heady, Lamb of God stuff with a tinge of nu metal.
It's that new wave of American heavy metal kind of idea with
there's a wee 90s tinge to it, I think, and I think it might be Andy that brings that.
Yeah, there's a bit of it's a funk almost kind of thing they seem to have, I think, with them.
That's interesting.
I always get that. I'm not a big funk fan, but I don't know. There's something.
There's one of the things I love about their songs. I think we're going a wee bit off topic, but sure, whatever.
Wouldn't be like us.
All their songs, or a lot of their songs, are about video games and comics and sci-fi movies and stuff. Andy's only told me a few of them, but he told me what Ascension's about, and it's about Kratos from a video game called God of War. And since he told me that, listening to that song, it's elevated at that wee bit, because when you're listening to the lyrics and stuff, you've got those images in your head and stuff. I think they should play on that more. I think they should let people know what those influences are. They have a song coming out soon. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm gonna anyway. Called Replicant.
They played it live.
Yes.
A few times. Yeah, it's a cracker.
So it's obvious where the influence for that comes from. It's
I wonder.
Blade Runner. Cursed Sun. We're all fans, and I'm sure you will be whenever you see them.
Yeah. Well, based off from what I've heard, I like them. So.
Okay. Victim Royal is the next band we're going to discuss. Have you listened to Victim Royal?
From what's on, I think it's SoundCloud.
Yes,
they're on. Yeah.
SoundCloud.
It reminds me of Bullet for My Valentine. That's what I would get from Bullet for My Valentine.
Yeah, that's one of their. I think that's the first band they put on their list of influences.
It's like that's like the first one that came to my head. There was a mix of a couple other things, but the first one came to my the biggest one would be Bullet for My Valentine.
Which I find very odd because also in their bio they say they're a sharp shock to normal metal what is it? To like the normal metal blueprint. And
basically hyperbole.
Yeah, they're trying to say there's something different and out there, and yet the first band that they're comparing themselves to is Bullet for My Valentine.
Yeah, I think they've also got like Asking Alexandria and Bringing Horizon on there as well. Neither of whom I like, but
see, the way they're described and the way anyone will describe them after listening to them, for me sounds horrific, because I don't like those bands at all. But they have a song called Smoke Break, which is actually quite good, and I love it. I think it's brilliant. There's something about the way the vocals are delivered that it's not got a Northern Irish accent, but it does. Yeah. There's a little bit of that accent's allowed to come through, and it makes them sound like a Northern Irish band, and I really like that. I think there's something good about not being ashamed of where you're from. Yeah. There's also like a modern kind of hardcore vibe about them at times. At times, a little bit, yeah. I think maybe more with the shouty vocals. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I said to you about this before I sat and listened to a few other songs. I don't know what it is, but there's something about them that gives me like an indie rock vibe. And I know you don't get this, and whenever I listen to the guitars, I kind of go, what the fuck am I on about? There's something about it that reminds me of like whenever bands like Mojo Fury and LaFaro were popular. For some reason, I can just see them playing with those guys. I say when Mojo Fury were popular. When LaFaro are still popular. Well, we're not going to be gigging anytime soon as far. No, they're definitely not. But we really wish they would. Are Mojo Fury still about?
I think they split up.
LaFaro a long time ago, yeah.
No, did Mojo Fury not split up?
I thought I saw them on a bill not so long ago.
There was, I know one of the members that was in Mojo Fury was playing at the Dave McPherson thing in Voodoo. Mm-hmm. I think it was last month or maybe January.
Mojo Fury broke up.
But I think the Mojo Fury split up. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at their last gig in Mandela Hall. So
I think Victim Royal will be enjoyable, provided they don't play that.
That ballad,
yeah. They've got a ballad in amongst
it's called Chorus, yeah, and it's bad.
If they play that, it will be a bugger off to the bar for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's completely unnecessary in this sort of competition. I think if you played that, it would give a sign that you're missing the point. You're missing the point of what we're trying to achieve here. Well, not us. So yeah, that's Victim Royal. Sort of, I keep calling them Victim Royale. It's Victim Royal.
With cheese.
Sort of a Northern Irish Bullet for My Valentine meets sort of Trivium, bit of Slipknot. Yeah. I think it could be good, but it's not going to go up against some of the other bands that are in this competition.
Definitely not.
The last band to talk about then are Winteriness. Winteriness, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, started off as a one-man project by Geordie Thompson. I've seen Geordie Thompson in a bunch of bands, and plays bass for Shrouded.
Yeah.
He's got a grindcore project, which has something to do with maggots in the title. I'm going to try and remember it.
Any Mankinis?
He's got Winteriness, and I think Geordie's doing something else as well. There's like a death metal band he has on the go as well. I can't remember what they're called either. I'm going to have to edit this down.
No, you're not.
But I do know it. Something to do with genitals. Yeah, Geordie's a very talented musician. This project is a one-man project. As far as I'm aware, he started things off with his computer, so I think he was like sequencing drums and keys and like sort of atmospheric stuff, and then playing bass and guitar and recording that into it, and just creating. I think it was kind of a self-indulgent profile project, and I don't mean that in any negative way. I think something like that's incredibly healthy to do, just making music for you. So this is being brought to the stage, but I haven't spoken to Geordie or anyone that's involved, so I don't know what format it's going to come to the stage in.
I know Shane from Shrouded and Rupturation is now playing guitar, but based on their Facebook, it doesn't look like anybody else is being added or anything. So if it's just the two of them and a drum machine and backing tracks.
I don't think it's gonna go down well.
No, like musically, having listened to them, took a couple of listens for me to actually sort of properly get it. But I'm digging it. There's, like you said, there's definitely like a folk metal and power metal influence in among the black and death stuff.
That's where I get it from. It's like black and death metal, and then it's got like a really strong power metal and folk metal. There's a band called, I'm never sure how to pronounce them. I don't know if it's Ensiferum or Ensiferum.
Ensiferum, I think it is.
I think that's the closest.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking as well.
Yeah. I really like it. I do really, really like it, but I have a real aversion to pre-recorded drums being played as a live show, especially when it's a competition.
Well, the thing is, the judges will, Mark Ashby will be looking at that going, nope.
But as I say, we don't know. They could have a drummer.
I really hope so, because I'd love to see that with a full band behind, because you can hear the power there, and if they've got a drummer, I think he's going to have to be shit hot, because how good Shane and Geordie are.
Well, Geordie's programmed loads of like double kicks in that thing. Yeah. There's lots of really fast double kicks.
If you took like a band that's got two people in it with like an electric drum kit and compared to something like Lockhorns, it's just not. There's no contest there.
They're going to get slaughtered.
It's just not going to. It's not going to happen.
In that
it's
heat,
not going to work.
In that heat, there's a chance that they might go through. But then you put them into a semi-final with, like I said, the likes of Lockhorns or Oracle, or even Acid Age, Death of a Salesman. They're going to get trampled.
Yeah.
So hopefully, because to be fair, they're the only real black metal option this year, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
And we all know, obviously, Simon loves the black metal. So if they get through to the final, then that's going to be a big help for them. But it's getting there. Like if they don't have a full band, they're in trouble.
It probably would have made sense to reach out to Geordie and just ask him the question before we recorded. I might do that so that whenever this goes out,
we'll look really stupid.
We'll actually have an answer, and you guys will know what they expect.
Well, Geordie can watch it and he can tell us himself then.
I put it in the comments.
Yep.
I think there's enough drummers out there. I think we'll have a drummer. I think we'll have a full band. I would love to see them. I would love to see them with a full band, keys and all.
Yeah, musically, talent wise, these guys are the business, like.
Yeah.
So it's hopefully they've got an actual band to back it all up.
Okay, we'll do our usual thing then, where we say the two bands that we think are going to go through and the two bands that we want to go through. I think it's a tricky one because we don't really know where we stand with Winterness in terms of how full a band they are, but we'll wing up, we'll go for it anyway. Who do you want to go through? Who do you think will go through?
I want Cursed Sun to go through, and I think they will.
Yeah.
And Winteriness, it depends on the thing with the drums. If they've got a drummer, I think they will go through, and I would like them to.
Yeah.
But if they don't have a drummer, I think it's going to be Victim Royal.
Yeah.
Right. I don't need to say anything because I 100% agree with that.
That's the exact same thing I was going to say.
Cursed Sun will go through.
Yeah.
If Winterness have a drummer, they'll go through. If they don't, it will be Victim Royal.
Yeah.
I think we're all agreed on that.
Simple. And 10 Ton Slug will just shit over everybody because they are fucking amazing. If you haven't seen them, get down.
Well, one of the things I was saying to you yesterday, I know that I think this is the first that the Belfast Metal to the Masses have started getting guest headliners.
The other ones all across the UK have done it. I know they've done it down Dublin a few times, and you see it. The English heats do it quite a bit.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
From a selfish perspective, because we get to see great bands. The other thing I think that's really, really good about it is all these bands that are competing in like the early heats. You're taking a band that's won it and you're putting them in front of it, putting that band in front of them and going, there's the level you need to be at if you want to win this. There's the level of musical writing. There's a level of songs you need.
Musicality.
There's the musicality you need. There's the stage performance. There's the presence. There's the professionalism. There's the look you've got to get.
Yeah.
It's just putting everything in front of them and going, if you do that, that's how you win.
I think they would have gone, something like that at yesterday's heat. I think would have been, because with this, you're looking at these bands like Winterness, Shane and Geordie won it with Shredded. The Cursed Sun boys have been about for long enough. They know they know the crack. If it had been yesterday's heat, I think there's a lot more it would have been a lot more beneficial. But still, we're getting to see the slug. Man, it's been too damn long.
I haven't seen them since Bloodstone.
I haven't seen them since. Did you not see them? Were you not there for?
They came up with Two Tales of Woe, didn't they?
Yeah, with them and I Hate God.
Yes, I did.
Jesus, that was heft.
Yeah.
Doesn't get heftier than that.
Okay. So that's pretty much us. We didn't have a weekly topic of conversation this week, basically because we couldn't come up with anything. We're not going to just talk for the sake of talking it.
For once.
One thing I'd like to mention as well is there's a gig coming up, 18 years of the Distortion Project.
Yes.
I'm not even going to try and tell you the lineup.
I'll tell you what, we'll bring up the lineup because I think every band on it needs to be mentioned. So we have, By Any Means, Congenital Abnormalities, Conjuring Fate.
That's Jordy's band, by the way.
Congenital
Abnormalities was the band I couldn't think of.
Conjuring Fate, Cursed Sun, Donham Die, Draconis, Rabbit Bitch of the North, Scimitar, Senescence, Sky Pilot, and The Crawling. Now, if that lineup doesn't get your dick hard, then, or whatever, yeah, that is just an unbelievable.
What Liam is saying is that you should go and see that.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely. 21st of April. Now they are doing early bird tickets for £6 through the Distortion Project's Big Cartel page. I know they're also doing a deal with.
Is James Penny?
No, but let's just give them all the spiel. Like, you can also get a T-shirt as well with the ticket. I don't know if they're still going.
I'm pretty sure they're sold out.
Yeah, it'll be £8 on the door, which for that lineup is a ridiculous price.
That's less than £1 a band.
Yep, and even if you don't have to like all of the bands on there, but that hits almost all of the targets you want.
Just one last thing I want to mention before we wrap up. This is episode 6 of the podcast. This week we are putting out 2 podcasts because we have a review that me and Liam are going to do. We are going to review Oracle's new EP, which is getting launched this Friday. Saturday night.
At the Foundry with. Who else do we have on that bill? That's another.
Elder Druid are on that, and I think Heroes are as well. And there's another one.
Cursed Sun are on that as well.
Might be them, yeah.
Yep, Elder Druid, Ketos, and Cursed Sun. This weekend is a Thursday. You've got the Metal to the Masses heat.
Yep.
Friday you have the rescheduled Dunham Die EP launch, and Saturday you have the Oracle EP launch. If we understand people can't get out to all of them. But if you can't get out to at least one of those gigs, you're missing out. Like, this is just going to be an amazing weekend. So,
yeah. So, thanks for watching. And obviously stay tuned for episode 7. It'll be up probably within about 24 hours of this one going up. And I'd like to say then we'll be taking a break, but no, we're not. We said we'd keep up with the Metal to the Masses heats, and that's what we're going to do. So, there's going to be more podcasts coming at you. We appreciate everyone checking these out, sitting and listening to us talk bollocks for about an hour. If you can click like on the video, subscribe, give us a little like on the Facebook page,
share to as many people as you can.
Yes, and especially if we say horrible things about any bands and you know those bands, make sure they hear about it. So thanks for listening, and as always, keep listening to the wrong kind of music.